lovely day, and today we got a special edition. We have a special edition. This is just call this Jalen and somebody else. There and I am somebody else for today, because last week there's a host on a popular TV show, Jalen and Jacoby, and Jacoby went on a rant. Jacoby went on a rant saying, if the Philadelphia Eagles with Jalen Hurts if they beat the Saints, then the name of this show Monday will not be Jalen and Jacoby. The name of this show will be Jalen and somebody else. So I'll be somebody else for today. So step aside, Jacoby. Thanks for the new job. I don't covet your job. You guys are great. You guys are great. You know, Jalen and Jacoby, man, kind of like a young version of Pardon the Interruption. You know, two of my favorite shows, Pardon the Interruption and Jalen and Jacoby. But you did ask me to replace you today, so I am somebody else, and I'm replacing you today. You vowed, you prophesied, Jacoby, that there was no way that Jalen Hurts would have a productive game. You said that Saints defense would wreak havoc on him, you know, embarrass him, basically make him ashamed of being a football player and definitely a quarterback. You said that the Eagles would rule the moment if they decided to start Jalen Hurts instead of Carson Wentz. And anybody who knows that today is Monday and yesterday was Sunday, you know, pretty much knows that the Eagles beat the Saints. And Jalen Hurts was balling. I've heard that Alshon Jeffrey does not belong in an NFL uniform. And that back shoulder throw that Jalen Hurts threw to him for that touchdown reception let me know that Alshon Jeffrey is still alive, and his name has been being slandered throughout the United States of America by Jacoby and, like to use one of those Mike Wilbon words, and people of his ilk that have thrown Alshon Jeffrey in the garbage can. Jalen Hurts, 4th and 2, throws a touchdown pass while suffered a roughing the passer penalty against the Saints. So, you know, Jalen Hurts played big. He played big. And I know that Jalen Rose, my co-host for today, said that you never can underestimate a Jalen. And Jacoby, that's exactly what you did. You underestimated Jalen. You underestimated Jalen Hurts. And now it's just costing you today, costing you your job. You know, you can't sit here and do this job that you've already said you don't want and you don't want to do if Jalen Hurts proves you wrong. And that's exactly what he did. And big shout out to Jalen Hurts, because he had the world against him. Kicker for the Eagles missed a 22-yard field goal at one time. The commentator on the telecast was making up all kinds of excuses why Jalen Hurts was doing good. The team has never played this good, I heard him say several times. The Eagles haven't looked this good all year. You know, these guys are really motivated. Jalen's really being supported. You know, these are things that I was hearing. Hey, all those things may be true, but the quarterback yesterday for the Eagles was Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts was he was defamed. You know, he should be collecting checks all throughout the United States today, not just from the Eagles, but from all this defamation of character that he has suffered all throughout the week from people basically condemning him just for being behind a guy who has been, you know, hasn't been performing all season long. It's not Jalen Hurts' fault that Carson Wentz has been getting the job done, but once he was named the starter, you know, that was just a narrative, as if somehow he wasn't prepared, and you know, basically it was his fault that the Eagles drafted him in the 2nd round. Hey, the Eagles saw something in him, and they didn't see something in Carson Wentz, you know, to put Hurts in that situation to where he would have to perform. So I'm gonna get off Jacoby, but this has been somebody else. We got other things to talk about in this world besides an empty football stadium and guys running around like there's not a pandemic going on. Because the NFL, you know, my feeling on it in terms of these capacity stadiums, you know, is trying to tell us something. These seasons continue to go on without any fans. New basketball season on the horizon, you know, no fans, but guys still having fun, having the time of their lives. But just last year in the middle of the basketball season, those basketball players were basically crying about how they shouldn't be in that bubble, how they should be out making change and things of this nature. But as soon as they kind of figured out that if we don't play these games, we're going to lose a $500 million up to $1 billion by January, then they're still out there playing in those empty stands. So that ought to tell you something, you know, consumer, fan, spectator, supporter. That's why I'm down with the Charlotte Hornets. So, hey, at least if you're going to play these games, filter some of that money back in the community and let me know how it's going to get there, or, you know, by what means. Because big picture, you know, Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz, all that's very insignificant. You know, when you have guys like we saw in New York City just yesterday, with his Bible, but also prepare for war in the front steps of the church, daring the police to gun him down. And they did accommodate him, you know, and give him his early Christmas gift. So if you're out here begging for an early Christmas gift, please understand that the old Western ways didn't die with Doc Holliday. You know, your Huckleberry is right around the corner. So we can have these thoughts and these preconceived notions, you know, that we're Hollywood Cole, listening to too much of that Andre 3000. You know, like Kanye said with him and Jay-Z, just listening to something because you just think it sounds provocative, but you don't understand the message that it's implanting inside your spirit. And then you put that newfound character on display just to understand it or find out Doc Holliday ain't gone. So be mindful of be careful, little mouth, what you say. You know, be careful, little hands, what you do. We have to, your Gotti style, we got to get back to the basics. I just know that Gotti's career has blown up ever since he came out with getting back to the basics. So we got to get back to the basics during this time of year, knowing that we're all so close to victory and then yet so far away, you know, so close to defeat. It's all, the key lies within our focus. I saw a girl dunk a basketball in a college basketball game last night for Stanford University. And she challenged me because my knees, I don't want to go and try to dunk a basketball right now. But when I saw her dunk that basketball, I think I had to, in salute of her, I think I had to do 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups just because I saw her do it. So continue to do, you know, if you can perform great feats with your mind or your body, always put your best foot forward, because you never know who you're not just impressing, but also motivating, you know, challenging, who you're helping to become better just because you're putting your best foot forward. And that's why I like to commend the young lady. And they showed a lot of highlights from her dunking in high school, you know, in the past and things of that nature. She's still holding it down. So, you know, I got a little better because of her. Now, that's the question we can all ask ourselves, especially during this time of year, you know, these holiday seasons. Are we doing anything in our lives to help somebody else become better? You know, it's a good thing to help people. You know, I'll give you a handout or things of that nature, but are you doing something that, you know, that aspires them or inspires them, you know, strikes a little bit of a in them, you know, motivates them to achieve personally. So that's what we should be doing. Leaders, We all need to be leaders. You never know who's really behind you and who's watching you and who you're helping ascend to the next level. This has been Jalen and somebody else, and I've been somebody else. Missionary Anderson of TERRENTINO News, coming to you live from Universal Headquarters. We got a great head start on this day, and let's just capitalize on it for the remaining 23 and a half hours. We'll see you in the morning.